Well, the thing is, I'm very happy to hear that. A lot of people have watched our videos and people are very happy about our business credit series and personal credit series. So that's just fantastic. So in today's conversation, what I want to do, I want to talk about Navy Federal loan with no income. So this is the ultimate tutorial on getting a massive amount fast and easy. And we are talking about $50,000 maximum loan amount. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you ever ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Navy Federal loan with no income. So the situation is very simple. So the premise is you have no income and you're trying to apply for the Navy Federal loan, maximum loan amount $50,000. How do you get that? How do you get the massive amount fast and easy? The first thing you need to do is to pay attention to your MPR, your multi-product relationship. What is the length? You need to cultivate a relationship with Navy Fed, okay? So when we talk about MPR, we are talking about maintaining a strong relationship with the institution. So minimum, you want to have 2 years of membership, 24 months. That's the minimum. If you really have no income and you're trying to get a loan with them, you really have to be around for a while. So 2 years is a good threshold, okay? You need to have a clean checking history with NFCU. In other words, there is no problem with check system or other you have checks bouncing, all that kind of stuff. No, you need to have a clean checking history. This is very important. You want to make sure you have a clean credit card and loan payment history with the institution. In other words, if you currently have debt products with them, credit card, loans, and lines of credit, make sure that you are current on those products. Very important. And we also want to pay attention to the variety of deposit accounts. See, when we talk about NPR, we are referring to deposit accounts. I'm not talking about liability account. Okay, boss? I'm talking about deposit account. So you want to have, at a minimum, a checking account with the Navy Fed, a savings account. If you have some extra cash lying around, you can open a CD, a certificate of deposit. This is important. So the more, the merrier. It's really important to have a lot of products with the institution. And I'm talking about deposit accounts, okay? And Navy Fed pays attention to the amount in those deposit accounts. So I'm not really talking about having 3 or 4 checking accounts or 3 or 4 savings accounts with $10 or $15 in each of them. No, we're talking about parking some cash. I'm not asking you to put in there millions of dollars that you don't have, you probably don't have, but put some amount, put some 3 digits, some 4 digits, save. That's what we're talking about here, okay? So big decision time for you, boss. I want you to answer me right now. What is the status of your relationship with Navy Fed right now? Do you have a strong relationship? Do you have a diverse relationship, or you have a single account, or do you have a multi-account relationship with them? You better have that. The second thing I want you to do is to look at your assets. If you have no income, you better have some assets, okay? It's very important. So when we talk about assets, you need to understand the importance of having assets if you cannot prove income or don't have a 9-to-5 job generating income for you, okay? What are assets? Assets mean what you own. I'm talking about cash, all right? I'm talking about a car that you don't have a payment on, a house if you're lucky that you have totally paid off a house. So this is important, okay? And the thing here is that there are many different types of liquid or cash equivalent assets. So when we talk about assets, I'm not talking about liquid assets, assets that are hard to monetize. You want to have near cash equivalent assets. We are talking about what? Cash. We are talking about securities. So if you own stocks, if you have CDs, if you have a certificate of deposits, this is important, boss, okay? So you need to maintain a catalog or a portfolio of assets that are easily monetizable. They're cash equivalents. Because if you don't have an income or you can't prove income, you better have a way to show Navy Fed that the loan they are about to give you, you will have the wherewithal, the means to repay the loan back. Okay, because the last thing they want is to actually trying to chase your broke ass and hire a collection agency to look after you because you're playing games with them. No, so you need to prove to them that you have the assets to actually pay them back. So we also talk about a house. When we talk about assets, if you have a house or real estate, if you have appraised valuables, right? You have jewelry, some jewelry that are very valuable. That's kind of cool also. If you have some government bonds, if you have a vehicle, I just said that. So what I'm trying to say here is money, 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 boss, money. This is important. If you have no income or cannot prove income because you don't have a 9-to-5 jobs, you don't have a 9-to-5 job, you better have money. Because that loan is not going to pay itself by itself. Very important, okay? So first step, you want to establish a strong NPR with the institution. Second step is you want to have assets, monetizable assets, and you want to make sure that you can prove to Navy Fed that you do have control over those assets. Very important. Let's talk about the third step here. If you have no income or cannot prove your income and you want to get a $50,000, that's the maximum limit, $50,000 from Navy Fed, the third thing you need to do is to work on your Navy Fed internal credit score. Yeah, boss. I'm just going to be very clear with you right now. Every Navy Fed member has an internal score. Okay, and it's important to understand the components of that score. So you start working on that score today, not tomorrow, not yesterday, boss. Today, you start working on that score today. Now, let me just quickly break it down for you. A Navy Fed internal score ranges from 100 to 450. That's the delta. That's the gap. 100 to 450. All right. And there are many elements that actually get into that score. So your score, if you're lucky, the higher the better. That's what it is. It's kind of similar to a FICO score. Okay, so that score comprises many things. So utilization of revolving account credit lines in the last 3 months. So your utilization of revolving account credit lines in the last 3 months will have an effect on your Navy Fed internal score. We are talking about credit cards. We are speaking about lines of credit. So the product should be revolving line of credit, revolving products. If you have limited credit experience, so the length of your credit experience will have an impact on your Navy Fed internal score. So this is important. I'm just explaining to you the components of your score. So right now, I want you to really start thinking about how to boost that score up. Very important, okay? The third thing that actually has an impact on your Navy Fed score is the number of inquiries on your credit bureau report. So this is important to actually limit those hard pulls, okay? This is very important. Now, the ratio of accounts opened in the last 24 months to all accounts also plays an important role on your Navy Fed score. Did you get that, boss? I'm going to repeat it just for you. The ratio of accounts opened in the last 24 months to all accounts. So if you have, let's say you have 5 credit cards and you have opened 2 credit cards in the last 24 months, that's 40%, right? So basically that's 2 divided by 5 multiplied by 100. That's 40%. And what about let's talk about the excessive credit. If you have excessive credit obligations in relation to income, also this will play an important role. Okay, so we are really clear here. So let's say, for instance, that's your DTI. I'll talk about your DTI later on. And if you have delinquent past or present credit obligations, this will also have an impact on your Navy Fed score. So bottom line is what? Credit card. We are speaking about lowering the number of credit cards that we have with NFCU or any other credit card issuer for that matter. We are paying attention to reducing the balance that you have on that credit score. Very important, boss. Very important. let me talk to you now about income options. Folks, we are still talking about Navy Fed loan, the personal loan, how do you get it with no income, all right? And the whole thing is how do you get it with how do you get a large amount without income? Now let's talk about the income options. It's important. So again, you want to see if you can come up with other sources of income which Navy Fed will honor. See, the thing is, if you don't have a 9-to-5 job, because that's the premise of this conversation, you don't have a 9-to-5 job and you don't have let's say you don't have a way to generate revenue. So you are trying to find alternative ways to actually qualify for that loan, okay? And so some of the different types of income you can use consist of, if you have Social Security benefits, I'm talking about retirement or disability, Navy Fed will honor that, okay? If you have dividend payments or other investment income, this could also be a possibility. If you have a job offer with an offer and acceptance letter. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have a job now, but you do have an offer letter. You can show the Navy Fed officer that, hey, listen, I'm just going to start in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks or whatnot. And here is the job offer. Here is the promise of a salary. They will honor that also, especially if they can contact the HR department in your future company. That's totally fine. Okay. And if you have a retirement account with Navy Fed or another institution, including a pension, this could also qualify as a source of income. Okay. If you have VA benefits, Veterans Administration benefits, if you have side gigs or a business startup, who knows? You probably have a startup right now, or you are starting to generate income from day one. That's totally great. Self-employment income, unemployment benefits, royalty payments. Let's say you have a KDP account with Amazon and you just wrote a book and the book is, it's going viral. It's becoming a bestseller. This is a possibility for you right now to show those royalty payments and say, hey, listen, I'm having some kind of income coming in. If you are part of a company or LP or LLC and you have a partner, you're just generating income as a partner in that company. That's also great. Child support, tip income, alimony, and you can also consider your spouse's income also. All right. So bottom line is money, 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 boss. You need to show Navy Fed that you have alternative income options. This is important. Shall we talk about your FICO score? Because I talked earlier about your Navy Fed score, right? Now let's talk about your FICO score. If you have no income, no 9-to-5 income, if you will, and you try to get the $50,000 Navy Fed loan, you better have a good score. If you have a good score, that's great. That's fantastic. If you have no income, you want to maintain a high credit score so you can boost your Navy Fed loan approval odds, okay? And it's really important to understand that I want you to look at this whole equation from Navy Fed's perspective. Here you have someone, the person has no job, and the person say, listen, I want a loan. Okay, I'll give you a loan, but demonstrate to me how you're going to repay me, how you're going to pay the loan back. Oh, well, I have assets. Fantastic. I love that. I have a high credit score. Wonderful. This shows financial responsibility. It shows that in the past you have been responsible with your credit. That's just fantastic. So it's important to actually maintain a high credit score so that you can boost your Navy Fed loan approval odds. Very important. And we all know that there are some steps you can take to improve your credit score right now, starting today. Boss, I'm talking to you right now. If you have a fair or poor credit score, you want to start now. There are things you can do. First thing is you want to check your credit reports for errors. All right. I don't care how busy you are. You have a lot of gigs on the side, whatever. You want to take actions today to check your credit score. Okay. We're talking about contacting a platform called annualcreditreport.com. We are talking about contacting Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and saying, listen, I think there's an error here. You guys better correct that. Trying to pay your bills on time, boss. If you have missed payments, get current and stay current. Be aware that paying off a collection account will not remove that collection from your credit report, but it's a start. So if you're having trouble making ends meet, you want to contact your creditors or see a legitimate credit counselor. It's important. You also want to reduce the amount of debt you owe. Okay, this is important because your CUR, hear that? Your credit utilization ratio has an impact on your credit score. Everybody knows that. Okay, so, and let me give you more tips on how to fix your FICO score and maintain good credit. So let's say if you have been managing credit for, let's say, for a short time, don't open a lot of new accounts too rapidly. Please don't do this, okay? And do your rate shopping for a loan within a focused period of time. Don't try to actually like go and just get hard pulls over hard pulls over hard pulls. No, reestablish your credit history. If you have, let's say you have had problems in the past, reestablish your credit history. Request and check your credit report. This is something you need to do. As a matter of fact, you know, like the good thing is you have Credit Karma, you have Nerd Wallet, you have Credit Wise from Capital One. You have a lot of players out there that offer you a credit score for free, nothing to pay for. So big decision time, boss. Big decision time. I want you to decide right now to beef up your credit score. Would you do that for me? That's great. I'll be right back, but after this, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sort of Kiwi Show. We are also having a conversation. Today's conversation is very simple. How do you get a Navy Federal loan without income? How do you get a large amount? I'm not talking about a teeny-weeny yellow polka dot bikini loan amount. I'm talking about a massive amount of $50,000, boss. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that. What you need to do, the next thing you need to think about is your DTI. Your debt to income ratio. You want to lower your DTI before applying for a Navy Fed personal loan. Like I said, if you have no income or you can't prove your income, because you better generate revenue from somewhere, maybe not a 9-to-5 job, but from another place. You want to lower your DTI. This is important. And also, when we talk about DTI, now DTI is very simple. It's a fraction, right? You put let's say your income, your debt at the top and your income at the bottom. So that's why it's called debt to income. And you want to maintain a DTI around 35% to 30%. The lower, the better. The lower, the merrier. Okay. And it's really important to understand that if you want to take let's say you want to take another loan from Navy Fed or another institution, can you make on-time payments? Think about that. I want you to think about that because everybody just, I need money. Okay. I'm going to apply for a loan. Okay. Do you have the cash to pay it back? Boss, talk to me about that. Do you have the money? Does your budget, your current budget, fit into that equation? Do you understand the terms of the loan, boss? Have you read the promissory note? Or you just so dewy-eyed about the loan amount? I'm just going to buy this. I'm going to take care of whatever expenses I need to take care of. And you don't even take the time to read the promissory note, boss. This is just crazy. Don't do that. Okay. Do you know the risks of taking out a loan in general? The question is the personal loan from Navy Fed or another lender the best option for you right now? What could happen if you cannot make the payments? Could you lose your car or home? Consider interest. What would likely end up paying? What would likely happen to you if you do not pay the interest on time? Those are questions I want you to think about because everybody just like, I'm going to apply for a loan. I have the form. I have the form here. I just need to fill out the form and hope, quote unquote, hope that I'll be approved. No, there is a formula to personal credit. There is a formula to business credit. And I'm trying to teach you how to codify the whole application process. It's a code. There is a code for personal credit. And once you master the code, once you master the formula, it becomes easy. Okay? Things become very easy. Step number 7. I'm still talking to you about Navy Federal loan, no income. And how about trying a cosigner? Let's talk about that. Okay, find a cosigner to boost your chances of approval. If you have no income or you can't prove your income, and you sort of have you have assets, you have a high credit score, and you are trying to boost your chances, and you have a great relationship with Navy Fed, this could be a good opportunity to actually be approved. Find a co-signer, your spouse, a friend, a relative. Okay, so when we talk about co-signer, what is a co-signer? A co-signer is basically a secondary person who agrees to pay back a loan in case the primary borrower's default. In other words, doesn't pay it back. Okay, so when you co-sign a loan, the loan is recorded on both your credit report and on the main borrower's credit report. So as long as that main borrower makes on-time payment, you will get the benefits of those marks too. However, if the borrower misses the payment or just stops paying on the loan entirely, guess what? You will be on the hook for the loan. This is important, okay? And if you fail to pay up, the lender can actually take you to court for the money. So I'm just trying to really lay out the foundation here so you understand what we're talking about here. But the good thing is that if you have someone who is financially responsible, someone who has a stellar credit history, that person can actually help you. You know, if you want to call it, let's just call it their aura, quote unquote aura. Their credit aura can reverberate onto you in a positive manner. So this is important, okay? So a cosigner makes sense if you have trust, if there is trust between the borrower and the cosigner. The cosigner needs to have a good credit score. This is important, okay? If you don't have much income, or let's say you are young and you don't have credit yet in your name, you can seek a cosigner. This is important, okay? So what I'm trying to say here is that you want to be very strategic in terms of looking for the cosigner, and always it's just a lot better to place your trust into somebody who is family or a very dearest friend. Very important, okay? Money. So bottom line is, when you're looking for a cosigner, look for someone who has money, who has a great credit score. In other words, has shown in the past that they are responsible with credit. They understand exactly the implications of being a cosigner. Explain everything to them, and this should be okay. All right? Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about Navy Federal loan with no income, and how do you get that? How do you get a massive amount? And first, pay attention to your NPR length, the length of your relationship with the institution, your assets, your NFCU internal score, the income options, the FICO score, very important, your DTI ratio. We are always talking about that DTI ratio, and the importance of having a cosigner you can trust. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.